Ice Spice was wild for our girl from the Bronx. You haven't seen anything yet. I'm talking about a full-on, multi-front war involving lawsuits, McDonald's brawls, and serious money drama that has the whole industry whispering. We've all been watching her for a few years now, right? The orange curls, the munch vibe, that I'm just here for a good time attitude. But lately, it feels like the it girl crown is getting a little too heavy for her to carry, and the cracks are starting to show in a very public way. First off, we have to talk about what happened literally just a few days ago. If you haven't seen the footage, you need to go look right now, but let me break it down for you. Our girl was just trying to have a normal meal at a McDonald's in Hollywood. I mean, even superstars crave a Big Mac every now and then, right? But things went from 0 to 100 real quick. A woman named Via walks up to her table. From what we can see, she was trying to show love, but Ice Spice and her crew weren't feeling the vibe. Ice basically pointed to the door like, "Girl, go on," and that's when it got ugly. This Via girl straight up slapped Ice Spice. Right there in the booth. Now, we know Ice is from the Bronx, so she didn't just sit there. She literally jumped over the tables, and I mean full-on athletic vaulting, to chase this girl out of the store.
Wait, let's get out of there! Calm down. Calm down. Wait, calm.
They ended up in a massive scuffle outside, phones were broken, insults were flying, and it was just a mess. Ice's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, the same guy who handles some of the biggest names in the business, is already on the case. They are pressing charges and even looking at suing the McDonald's for not having enough security. But just think about that for a second. This is the Princess of the Bronx jumping over fast food tables in 2026. It's a far cry from the Met Gala red carpet, and it shows just how high the tension is around her right now. People aren't just fans anymore, they're getting bold, and Ice is clearly on edge. But while she's fighting in the streets, she's also fighting in the courtroom, and this one is actually even messier. There's a company called the Bella Brand, and they have officially dragged Ice into a legal nightmare.
Out and she was like, "Oh, I think that's Ice Spice over there." And I'm like, "Oh, for real?" So I go up to them and
This isn't just a small disagreement, we're talking about a $400,000 lawsuit. The story is that Ice Spice ordered 25 custom-made wigs. We all know her hair is her signature. If she doesn't have those orange curls or that perfect bob, the brand doesn't work. The company says the bill was about $20,000, which sounds like pocket change for a rapper, right? But according to them, Ice never paid up. She took the wigs, or she promised to take them, and then she ghosted. And it gets worse. Not only did she allegedly skip the bill, but the brand says she went on social media and trashed them, which cost them a ton of other celebrity customers. Now, they aren't just asking for the $20,000, they want $400,000 in damages. Ice Spice is fighting back, calling the company overly dramatic and saying they're just trying to use her fame to get a payday. But she's scheduled for a deposition at the end of this month. That means she has to sit in a room with lawyers and answer questions under oath about why she didn't pay for her hair. It's embarrassing, it's expensive, and it's the last thing she needs while she's trying to stay at the top. This wig lawsuit actually pulled the curtain back on a much bigger problem, Ice Spice's finances. For the last few weeks, the industry has been buzzing about the fact that she's battling some serious debt. Now, when you see her in her videos with those massive diamond chains and the custom-designed outfits, you'd think she was a billionaire. But in the music business, everything is a loan. When a label signs you, they give you an advance. That's just a fancy word for a loan that you have to pay back with your music sales. If you aren't selling enough records or getting enough streams to cover the cost of the private jets and the jewelry, you end up in the red. The word is that Ice Spice is currently feeling that squeeze. The munch hype was huge, but you have to keep that energy up every single month to pay off the millions the label spends on you. If she's fighting over a $20,000 wig bill, it makes you wonder if the bank account is actually as full as she wants us to believe. And if the money and the lawsuits weren't enough, we have to talk about her health and her vibe. Back in January, right at the start of the year, a video went viral of her being helped out of a club. And when I say helped, I mean she was basically being carried. She looked completely out of it, limp, head down, eyes barely open. Her security had to hold her up just to get her into the SUV. Now, everyone likes to party, but this didn't look like someone just having a good time. It looked like a total breakdown. For a girl who built her whole brand on being chill and unfazed, seeing her that vulnerable was a huge shock. It made everyone ask, is the pressure of 2026 finally breaking her? You can't be the most famous girl in the world, fighting lawsuits and fans in McDonald's, without it taking a toll on your body. That night at the club felt like a warning sign that she's running on empty. While her professional life is a circus, her love life is also getting a total reboot. Remember when everyone thought she was the first lady of the New York Jets? She was rumored with Sauce Gardner for a while, and it seemed like the ultimate New York power couple. But by last August, that fire had officially burned out. Suddenly, she's being spotted all over West Hollywood with Diamant Blotzy. He's this French basketball player and TikTok star who is basically the definition of a flashy. They've been seen holding hands, grabbing lunch at Chaconi's, and acting like they don't have a care in the world.
No wonder Ice Spice would rather be with Damont Blasey, Alabama Barker's boyfriend, and break up with Sauce Gardner.
But you have to wonder, is this a real romance, or is she just trying to find some happiness while her business world is falling apart? Blotzy is younger, he's athletic, and he's definitely got that viral energy, but being the boyfriend of a rapper who is currently being sued for $500,000 isn't exactly an easy job. And I repeat, cannot, ignore what happened at the SpongeBob movie premiere. This is probably the biggest PR fumble I've seen in years. Ice Spice joined the cast of the new SpongeBob movie, which should have been a huge, brand-safe win for her. It's the kind of thing that gets you into the homes of every family in America. But then, she shows up to the premiere. Now, keep in mind, this is a children's movie. The room is full of 5-year-olds and their parents. And Ice Spice walks in wearing a naked lace outfit. It was basically lingerie. It was sheer, it was daring, and it was 100% wrong for the venue. The backlash was insane. Parents were furious, and Nickelodeon executives were probably pulling their hair out. It showed such a massive lack of common sense. Who let her leave the house like that for a kid's event? It makes her look like she doesn't have a professional team around her anymore. It's like she's so obsessed with being the baddie that she forgot she was at a Disney-adjacent event. This is exactly the kind of move that makes big corporate sponsors stay far, far away. While she's dealing with all this, the other women in rap aren't making it any easier. Cardi B dropped that Project Am I the Drama, and the shade was real. Cardi didn't have to say Ice's name, we all knew who she was talking about. She was coming for the new girls who rely on viral clips instead of real bars. Then you've got the tension with JT and Bia. It feels like the big sisters of the industry have officially stopped being nice. For a while, Ice was everyone's favorite little sister, but now that she's a threat and she's taking up space, the claws are out. When you're isolated like that in hip-hop, you don't have anyone to defend you when the lawsuits start hitting. Ice is on an island right now, and the water is rising. It's crazy to think that just a few months before all this mess, she was having the time of her life. During Kai Cenat's Mafiathon, she and Latto were the stars of the show. They were on stream, twerking, laughing, and showing the world that they were the new queens of the digital space. Millions of people were watching live, and it felt like she was untouchable. But looking back, that moment feels like the peak of the mountain. Everything since then has been a slide down. It's a lot easier to be a superstar on a fun live stream than it is to be a superstar in a deposition room. The Mafiathon was the version of Ice Spice we all loved, but 2026 is showing us a version that is tired, broke, and angry. So, where do we go from here? If I'm being honest, Ice Spice is at a tipping point. She has the talent and the look to be a legend, but she is currently drowning in bad advice and bad decisions. You can't be jumping over tables in McDonald's and wearing lingerie to kids' movies if you want to be a mogul. She needs to fire whoever is telling her yes to everything and find a team that can actually manage her money. The wig lawsuit is a wake-up call. The dead allegations are a fire alarm. And the club incident was a cry for help. If she can settle these lawsuits, clear her name, and get back to the music, she might survive 2026. But if she keeps letting the drama take the lead, we might be looking at the end of the Munch era for good. It's time for Ice to decide if she wants to be a professional artist or just another viral girl who lost it all in the Bronx. The crown is heavy, but it's even heavier when you owe $400,000 on it. We're all watching to see if she can pull it together, but the clock is ticking, and the internet is already looking for the next girl to take her place. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started, and the next chapter is probably going to be the messiest one of all. I'm telling you, this 2026 run for Ice Spice is going to be taught in PR classes for the next 20 years as a lesson on what happens when fame moves faster than your foundation. She's got the whole world's attention, now she just has to figure out what to do with it before it burns her whole house down. Seriously, just keep an eye on her social media. Every time she posts a "I'm good" photo, remember that there's a lawyer in a room somewhere preparing to ask her why she didn't pay $20,000 for some hair. The reality behind the glamour is getting impossible to hide, and the world is finally seeing the real cost of being Ice Spice. Is she going to be the girl who made it out, or the girl who lost it all? Only 2026 has the answer, and right now, the odds are looking a little bit shaky. Grab your popcorn, because this is the biggest drama in rap, and we are right in the front row for every single second of it. I mean, can you imagine jumping over a McDonald's table in a designer outfit? That's the level of chaos we're dealing with. It's wild, it's messy, and it's 100% Ice Spice. Let's see if the princess can actually save herself this time, or if the drama is finally going to win the war. She's got the Bronx in her blood, so you know she's going to fight. But the question is, who is she actually fighting? The fans, the wig companies, or her own team? Either way, the unfazed girl is gone, and the phased girl is here to stay for a while. It's the reckoning we all saw coming, and it's finally here. Good luck, Ice. You're definitely going to need it.